Hey, everybody. Everybody, welcome in Miss Justice React. Hey, sis. Hello, Miss Diane. Hello, Legend. Everybody, welcome in Mr. Legend. Hello, Miss Maydale, Miss Sting. Hey, Auntie. Hey, Miss Tawana, Miss Laverne, Miss Allie. How are you? Justice was looking for you. Hello, Miss Rita. All right, y'all. Hello, sis. Hello, Ellen. How are you? Hello, Miss Maisha. So, this has been weighing very heavy on my heart since Ocean passed, and I did, and um, hello, no more drama, and talk about things. And I've been wanting to have this conversation with my cousins for a long time. What will your story be? What will your legacy be when your time is up? What will people say about you when your time is up? I try my hardest to live my life in a certain way. So when it's all said and done, Let me mute this one. I'm going to remove this one. Okay, can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me now? Okay. Okay, all right, all right. I apologize for that. I don't know why I want to act crazy, but um, as I was saying earlier, I thank God for Ocean and being having the privilege to be able to meet him in this sector, and for him being the person that he was and standing up for who he was and standing in his truth, standing in what he believed in. Um, like I said, it's hard being on these YouTube streets and being authentic. Um, it's so easy to conform to who people want you to be or what people want you to be, but he stood firm into who he was. He let us know that he was dealing with depression, he was dealing with anxiety, and he let us know the struggles that he faced. And when you dealing with those type of things, such as I deal with those things as well. It's hard when people are constantly jabbing at you, but he still came out here every day and he took it. But we have to be mindful of the things that we say to people, because we never know what somebody is battling and how close they are to the edge. And those hateful things and those hurtful things that we say out of our mouths, we're going to be held accountable for those things. And I really don't understand how people come out here and condemn people for the things that they do and not realize that those things that come out your mouth, you have to eat that too. So be very, very cautious of the things that you say to people and how you say it to people. It's always a better way that you can handle situations and get your point across without belittling, bashing, demeaning, degrading somebody. The same things we sit up here and we talk about or we try to down somebody about, it could be us. It always can be us. We got to be very mindful how we treat somebody. You should be the example you want to see in somebody else. That's the example you should put out there to the world. You can't be more than what you put out there. You can't ask more from somebody else there than you put out there yourself. You can't expect more from somebody out there than you put from yourself. In order to receive respect, you have to give it. Respect is earned. I've seen so many people change since I first started this YouTube stuff. I've seen them change in the way they respond, in the way that they act, the way they type. They become so consumed with this drama. Is this the way you are for real? Or have you gotten so caught up into it that it changed the way that you truly are? When you submerge yourself in negativity, it starts to change the way you think, the way you act, and it carries off into your real life. Stuff start to change about you. Not only change about you, but it change around you. You start to treat people differently. You have to protect your energy and your peace at all costs. I've seen a difference in so many people from the way that they first started to now. And it baffles me that some people don't know how to pull back from things that don't even concern them. This stuff fascinates so many people that they don't even know how to take a break from it. Yes, Miss Nanny Girl, spirits jump from one to another. So you have to protect who you around, what you take in, the energy that you let surround you. It's scary to me, the stuff that people let come into their personal space and the stuff that they let feed into their spirit. And then you wonder why things in your personal life is not going right. How before all of this started, not everything was going perfect, but it was going okay. You were managing. But now have you become so enthralled in this negativity and this bullshit? Stuff is starting to change. Your environment start to change. Your attitude starting to change. The way you treat people starting to change. Your children starting to change because it's you. It's what you let and feed into your spirit, and it's transferring out into your environment. You have to take responsibility for your actions. When things get a little bit too much for me, I push back. And what baffles me is when people say, I don't believe that people really don't watch this. When people say they don't watch it, I don't believe them. Well, believe it when I tell you. When I say I don't watch it, and if I say I didn't watch it, I didn't fucking watch it. Because I am grown enough, I'm mature enough to pull back away from it. When it serves me no purpose, when it's not helping me to grow, when I'm not elevating from it, when I'm not learning anything from it, when it's not feeding my spirit, when it's making me feel a certain way, when I cut it off, I can withdraw from it. Because I don't live my life in this way. I didn't live my life this way before YouTube, and I'll be damned if I let YouTube take me down a rabbit hole that I can't get up out of. Maturity. It comes with maturity. And it baffles me to see so many older people so immersed in bullshit that has nothing to do with them. It's time to let this stuff go. It's not worth it. For people we don't even know, that we probably will never ever get the opportunity to even meet, it's not this deep. I'm not going to change who I am for a like, a follow, a share. I don't give a damn about any of it. You don't ever hear me talking about numbers, subscribers, and any of that, because if my loyalty, if my subscription have to depend on being fake, if it has to depend upon me going off on somebody, calling you 100 bitches, and going against what I believe in and who I am, then you can have it. Because at the end of the day, what comes out my mouth, I'm going to have to be responsible for. I'm going to have to eat that. What you put out in the world will come back to you. And it's only so many times you can ask for forgiveness for the same stuff over and over and over again. And I'll be damned if I put that type of karma on myself or my family only for a hand clap or a super chat or a super sticker or a like on social media. See, my spirit, my soul ain't up for sale. If that was the case, I'll go back to doing trees where I made money. But see, I'm not here for that. I named my channel You Gonna Learn Today because that's what I wanted somebody to do. Take something from me positive when you leave this channel. It's not about money for me. Money is a bonus, absolutely. But it ain't the reason I was here. It's not the reason why I keep going. Because if that was the case, I'll go back to doing Latrice Allen. I mean what I say, and I say what I mean. And I would have been joined the fuckery and the foolishness if that was the case. See, somebody have to stand for something. Somebody have to give you something to look up to and to look forward to. And yes, I don't get the views everybody else get because I don't entertain the drama, but it ain't about that because I know somebody is taking something from what I got to offer. Miss Danny said I was falling asleep listening, waking up out of my sleep to see what I missed, listening to it during my 12-hour shift, shaking my head. I said no more. And we all got consumed like that at one point, Danny girl. I would be a lie if I said at one point I was not consumed in it like that as well. It was a point in time I was going from channel to channel to see what this person said, to see what that person said, because if you miss one live, it's like you missed a whole year worth of stuff. But when I went to go and explain something to somebody who wasn't in this sector or who didn't know anything about this, the way that they responded to me, it made me feel like a fool for even repeating it. And when I listened to what I was actually saying, I sounded so stupid even repeating it out of my mouth. The reactions that I was getting from the people who knew me best is like, girl, what are you listening to? What you surrounding yourself by every day? So I had to pull back and say, Tamika, what are you doing? And when I start looking back over all of the things that I was submersing myself with, it didn't feed anything in me but the ignorance and negativity. And I seen myself changing in some instances because when I would get off some of the lives, I would physically feel drained, like I worked a 12-hour shift. I would sometimes get off lives with headaches. What good was that doing for me? I can't sit out here and say one thing and do something totally different because then I'll be a hypocrite. So I had to check myself. I can't sit up here and preach one thing but do a totally different thing. That is a hypocrite. So I had to check myself. See, it's hard to check yourself. A lot of people would rather sit up here and act like it don't exist. But when you mature enough to pull back and check yourself and reset yourself, that's what we need in this world. We need for us to be able to see the errors of our ways and reset ourselves. But a lot of people don't want to do that because they're too caught up into somebody else's drama to deal with their own situation. It's easier to deal with somebody else's shit than to deal with your own. We all got our own situations that we can deal with, our own problems with our own family. But it's easier to just to turn a blind eye to that and just immerse yourself into somebody else's stuff because it has nothing to do with you. It's easy to tell somebody else what you would do in that situation because guess what? It ain't your situation. It's like they paying you to act a fool. If you really love somebody, you would tell them, sis, brother, this ain't you. It ain't worth it. But yet you send cash app and super chats and super stickers so people can continue to act a fool to benefit your entertainment. I don't want those type of people around me that don't tap me on my shoulder and say, you know what, Tamika, it ain't worth all of that. But yet you have those type of people that constantly just want to send you screenshots and tell you what the next person said to get you all worked up and riled up so you can come on here and cuss a bitch out. I don't want those type of people about me because this is if it's not physically hurting me or my family, if it's not detrimental to my health or to my environment, why do I need to know that somebody called me a bitch? I can be one of the biggest ones you ever known. Yes, that is true. That didn't hurt me. These people out here don't know me, so their words cannot affect me. They can't move me with their words, so why come and tell me? I want people that around me that's going to uplift me, that's going to correct me when I'm wrong, not uphold me in some BS, not come bring drama to my door that may destroy my whole day. I don't associate myself with people like that. I'm not going to bring something to you that may ruin your whole day. And it's not even that big of a deal. I don't rock like that. I don't roll like that. Miss Mel says, soon the drama start. I leave the chat, period. I can't allow the energy to get to me. It gives me an instant headache. Absolutely. And we have enough stuff that's going on in our real life that I want to watch things that I can either learn from or I can laugh about. I come on here for entertainment, not to bash, tear down, make somebody feel less than, because the same situations we laugh at can make us cry the next day. It always can be you, not only you, your loved ones. So I'm very mindful of what I choose to laugh at or to make fun of, because it can be you. And I've been in situations where, damn, did this happen to me because of X, Y, and Z? Is this my karma because I did X, Y, and Z? We all live in ways where we are not perfect, and we're going to get payback for some of the things that we have done and said. I have no more room on my plate to get payback from things that I have done and I have said. So I'm going to be mindful of the things that I do and that I say. That comes with being mature. That comes with being grown. Grown does not mean your age. It's your mental state, how you carry yourself, how you treat people. I've learned this a long time ago, that grown doesn't mean your age, because I know a lot of people that are grown in age but mentally are far gone. Hello, take a deep breath. Legend said, that's why I stopped last year. I didn't feel right having people supporting me just because of negativity. Absolutely, Legend. And me and you even had our little spat at the beginning of this thing a year or so ago. But I am mature enough to realize that we were caught up into something, and that we can let that go and move forward and be adults about it, and let that be water under the bridge, and move forward in a positive manner from here on out. Because I am mature enough and you are mature enough to do that. That's what grown people do. Not that, okay, because me and you had a disagreement, or me and you had it out, that, you know what? F you. I ain't never going to talk to you again. You did that and the other. No. That is water under a bridge. And it is what it is. And you forgive me, I forgive you, and we move. We are both in this sector together, and we can do more, accomplish more great things together than we can do apart. And I'll rather accomplish great things with great people than to ride solo and try to do this. We can reach more people together. Jersey Girl said, there is grown folks in state of mind of a child. Absolutely. Jersey Girl said, never, age ain't been nothing but a number. Absolutely. Miss Mel said, I go in a different sector that's mature and talk about real life feelings. And it's sad because I have a book. Y'all know I'm about notes and things like that. I have a book of things that I want to talk about, things that I want to bring to this sector. But it's so sad that I take a step back, or I choose not to do it, because I just feel like people in the sector don't want to hear these type of things. They rather flock to the things that are negative, or flock to the things that I'm just not interested in. And it really baffles me. It really baffles me. And especially when I look at my analytics and I see the age range of the people that watch us, these are the type of conversations I feel like that's needed and that we should be having at our age. But yet people are so fascinated by stuff that I just choose not to surround myself with. Sing says, when I came to YouTube, this was already going on. So what I look like saying something about stuff I don't know nothing about. I get you, baby. Hold on. Miss Mel says, Sing, I be seeing you in the other sector with me at times. Miss Mel said, okay, I think I read that one. Danny Girl said, you better say it with no sugarcoating. Miss Mel said, I swear you can say that again. Sing said, that's why I don't get involved. Yeah, and what broke my heart was a lady in Justice Chat. And she decided to come out the bushes. And she said she stayed in the bushes because she's scared. That broke my heart. That people can't even feel like they can't even voice their opinion without fear. Where do they do this at? Like that broke my heart to know that people can't even enjoy people's content without the fear of saying something that may ruffle somebody else's feathers, and that may trickle on down to something, them being doxxed or their picture being posted or something happening to them. That broke my heart. But let me let you all know that this is a safe space for you. We can agree to disagree. I don't expect anybody here to ever always agree with what I have to say. And this is another reason why I name my channel what I name my channel, because if you can't learn something from me, then perhaps you can learn something from Miss Maydale, Sting, Maisha, Mel, somebody else. Because we all have the potential to teach somebody something. I don't know everything. So maybe Miss Maydale way may be the better way for you to go. Maybe Justice way may be the better way for you, route for you to go. So I want you to be able to take something from somebody off of this channel. It doesn't have to be me, because we don't know everything. Don't matter how many degrees you have, how many classes you taught, how many experiences you've been through. Just because I've been through it don't mean the way I've handled it was the way that you should handle it. Miss Lisa says, I can say I was going channel to channel, and I had to think one day my life is better than this. Absolutely. Miss Danny Girl said, too much judgment and not enough uplifting, supporting, nor accountability. Absolutely. And none of us in a position to judge anybody. And I've been guilty of it myself. I am not without fault in any of it. But none of us are in a position to judge anybody. Because when the shoe is on the other foot, it doesn't feel good. So that's why I have to take a step back and I have to check myself. And I don't mind taking criticism from anybody else, because if I can dish it, I have to be able to take it. If I can pass a lick, I should be able to take one. So if you can't take the heat, then you got to get your ass out the kitchen. Take a deep breath. Say, absolutely, there is nothing fruitful about being negative and mean. No. And people are, they're not going to listen to you if you're coming at them in a mean, malicious way. You attract more things with sugar than you do shit. So if you come with to them in a more tactful way, then they're more inclined to listen to you. But you constantly pounding somebody, belittling them. They don't want to hear nothing that you have to say. Miss Lisa says, my family, like, what are you listening to? They told me to get off YouTube. Absolutely. I let my mom listen one day, Miss Lisa, and my mom just sat there with her mouth wide open, like, girl, what is that? And why? And sometimes I would tell my best friend a story because she's like, what you doing? What you listening to? And I'm telling her, and she's like, what? And she would just constantly laugh. And she's like, that sounds so stupid. And then I just really had to like really check myself and like, you know what, this ain't for me. This ain't for me because I'm not gaining anything from it. And a lot of times I will leave stuff and I will feel so stupid from even entertaining it. Jersey Girl says some people cannot comprehend half of the things you are more advanced about, and it's okay. Get your backpack. School is in session. I don't come on here like I'm better than anybody, that because what I do or what I have, I'm better than anybody. Because, like I said, I believe you can learn from the homeless man on the corner. He has a story to tell, and you can learn just as much from him as you can from me. We all add value to this world. We all have the ability to teach somebody something. Miss Lisa said, where's everybody at tonight? They need to be listening to this come out the bushes. When I'm used to this, Miss Lisa, when you're not on here calling people a bunch of bitches and whores and, talking about people, this is the outcome that you get. But if I would have changed the title and said, let me tell you something, bitch, we would have had a full house. But, I'm not going to change who I am in order to please the masses. I'm going to always remain true to who I am and what I do. Ellen says, right, we can all learn from one another. Absolutely. Miss Lisa said, you can't tell nobody the truth because then they will block you. Well, here you absolutely can, because like I said, I don't want nobody around me who gonna yes me all the time. That is weird to me, and that makes me suspicious if you agree with everything that I say. It's nowhere in this world you agree with everything I say, because I'm not going to agree with everything that comes out of your mouth. It's okay if you disagree with me. That's how we learn. That's how we grow. That's how I learn a different perspective, and vice versa. Um, Hello, Miss Tracy. Everybody, welcome in Miss Tracy Anderson. Jersey Girl said, we are forever learning if only we are willing. Absolutely. And I feel like if you don't learn something new every day, then you wasted a day. Every new day is a new opportunity to learn something different. And every day we should be striving to be better, to do better. And that's another thing that I loved about Ocean. When he seen something wasn't right or he felt something, he gonna say it. He gonna put it in your face. He gonna make you think about what you did or what you said, and he was gonna stand firm on what he believed in. Miss Mel said, when I left this sector and start to explore, I met some really nice people. I can see myself meeting them in real life. It's really some nice content creators. Absolutely. Absolutely. Miss Annette says, my daughter has insisted that I take breaks from social media. I was so embarrassed. And that's, people on the outside start to see things before we acknowledge it a lot of times. So people can see a change in our behavior a lot of times before we see a change in our behavior. And it's sad when people can see that. You know what I'm saying? That's when you just a little bit too invested in it. But at least somebody was there to remind you that, listen, man, you need to take a break and a step back. Because some people will just let you drown. They will see that you going out the world ass backward and literally let you drown. Danny Girl said, I remember the fun in these YouTube streets. It was full of laughter, girls talk, relatable family talk, supportive, etc. I remember that too, Danny girl. And that's when I love you too. When we can all laugh together, when we can pray together, when something was coming up for somebody, we all supported each other. And I was just telling one of my good supporters that I had an idea for my channel when I came out here, that I wanted to have a group of people. And I wanted to do, maybe you all do this in your family, where we had a pot of money and we will all contribute to it every month, and say Mel, I know she wouldn't mind me using her, say Mel needed a bill paid this month, and so Mel can come and get her bill money out of this pot of money, and then she will have 3 months to pay this money back, and then it would just be a cycle. We will be there, because a lot of people, I found out from a lot of people that I counsel, that a lot of people don't have support systems out here. They are single parents, and they don't have anybody to depend on, anybody to, be there for them, to have their back. And I'm like, what? This will be so great for people to have a support system where they can come talk about their problems, when they can come and not have to worry about this bill being due. They know they can come here and get this money out this pot. But then I thought about it, when all of this stuff start going on, I'm like, well, I don't want to do that, because I don't want to be labeled as a scammer. I don't want to be labeled as this. And it really made me just step back from that whole idea. And that's sad, when you want to do so much, but it's so much, many other things that play into it, and it really just deters you from everything that you wanted to do. I have so many ideas for this channel, but the way this sector is, it really makes you just want to step back. Miss Ali says, Mika, you have a mature approach. I think some people stay in the bushes because we have people like Alice, who does not even have a channel. They dox her son. That was hurtful. Felt so bad for her, and I felt really bad for Alex too, Miss Alice too. And I know the way that I go about things is totally different than most. I know that my approach um it's uncommon on these YouTube streets. People feel like they have to get back. Somebody say something about them, they gotta come and they gotta get their get backs. But for me, um if it doesn't fly, I let it fly. People, I share very little with myself, about myself out here. So you don't know me, so you can't speak on me. So it doesn't affect me. Words don't hurt me, especially words from strangers. They don't have an effect on me. So it rolls off my shoulders. It doesn't hurt me. You can't hurt me with your words. It doesn't bother me at all. So, but to see people getting doxxed, and especially subscribers who have nothing to do with anything, that really hurts me. And I do understand why some people stay in the bushes. It just breaks my heart that this has come to, this. I don't know if I spoke to you, Miss Shannon, but hey, baby. Jersey Girl said this is only for those that are here. Miss Mel said you have to lead by example, and that's what I try to do. I try to definitely lead by example. Um, I don't like when people say one thing and do the total opposite. So I try to be what I want to see, and nobody's gonna listen to somebody who says one thing and does the total opposite. I know I'm not. And I'm not going to sit up there and clap for you and pat you on your head if you're a hypocrite. I'm not. Um, Legend said it wasn't our fight to fight twin. It absolutely wasn't, Legend. It wasn't. It definitely wasn't. But you live and you learn. And I don't regret anything. It happened. Um, I learned something from it, and I'm pretty sure you learned something from it. And now we move on to fight battles together. And I'm glad that I met you, and we move on. Miss Ellie says, Mika, that's why I love your channel. You are open to various opinions and thoughts. Absolutely. How, I just figure it like this. What do I look like coming out here and just giving my opinions and my thoughts and not be open to other people's thoughts and opinions? Like, I'm not the end all be all. What I think and how I feel is not law. I love to have conversations with people, and I love to see how you all think, and that's why I always have those type of topics where, what do you think, what would you have done in this situation? Because I love to know how other people would have handled situations, so because what I would have done maybe doesn't line up with your life and how you would have moved, but maybe how you would have moved, Miss Allie, would line up in the way that they go about their life. It's more than one way to skin a cat, and I know that, and I know that my way is not the only way. Miss Rita says people don't like looking at the man in the mirror. Absolutely not. They're afraid to. They're afraid of what they're going to see. Miss Rita, you're right. And it's easier to put shine that light on somebody else's flaws and faults than it is to shine the light on their own. It's easier to call somebody else out on their bullshit than it is to fix your own. So they rather go in and tell another person all about themselves instead of fixing the 54 damn problems wrong with themselves. Hello, Larry. How are you? Welcome. Miss Maydell said people change because of situations and then they will go back to their ways. And I've seen that a lot. They will change for a week or two and then they'll go back to their shenanigans, because a lot of times they do that because that's what they think people want them to do. They're not really serious about the change, but they think that's what everybody expects of them. And so when you're not really true to what you're doing and what you're saying, you're going to slip back into your old behavior because you wasn't serious about what you said. Jersey Girl said, wow, I done blocked so many people. I don't see half the people you speak to now. Hello, Miss Michelle. I'm scrolling down. Miss Mel said, it's sad that people sit up there and judge a person because of who they support or who chat you in. I started to support everyone that's not talking about drama. I, you know, I don't care who support who. Um, you are free to support who. I can't dictate to you who you can talk to and who you can't. Who am I supposed to be to tell you who you can talk to and who you can't talk to? That is absurd. For me to even think I could tell you who you can and cannot talk to. You are grown. You can do as you feel. Just because I have a problem with somebody else doesn't make that your problem. That's not your problem. That's a problem between that individual and I. So I don't expect you to dislike somebody because I dislike them. That's crazy. Miss Lisa say, I see a lot of people can dish it, but they can't take it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hello, G Candy and Jackie Burrell. How are you? Danny Girl said, I enjoyed your live when you showed your family property in the South. Reminded me of my grandmother's property in Arkansas. Yeah, I didn't even show y'all the other side. That side is just a mess, honey. Hello, in his service. How are you? Miss Reed says, I fight for the defenseless children. They are our future and shouldn't be doxxed or humiliated on the internet. This will most definitely affect their self esteem. Absolutely. Absolutely. And, I'm all for people's mental health. And as I stated before, and many other people have stated, you never know what people are going through and how close they are to the edge. And I will be damned if I will be responsible of pushing somebody overboard because I'm angry. Because you're going to have to live with that. And I'm not going to uh dog somebody out, and then when it's too late, I'm going to have to eat what I've done to that person. And now it's too late to come out and say all these wonderful things about that person, because that person can't feel it. They can't hear it. So I'm very mindful of what I say and I do to people, because tomorrow is not promised. And God forbid I do something to you and I don't get that opportunity to make it right. That's going to eat a lot of people up. Hello, Tratra. Miss Jenny Girl said, I feel like BW Justice and you. I have between Justice and you, I have been in holy conviction tonight. All right now. Jersey Girl says, please do yourself a favor and mind your business when it comes to who page you see me on. Miss Mel said, I wish I would allow someone I don't know from a can of paint to tell me what to do. The devil is a lie. Absolutely. You feel me, sis? Inner service says, passing through. We'll watch replay. Gotta go to work. Glad I made it in. Thank you for stopping in. Um, Hello, Miss Jennifer. Um, what you want to talk about, Larry? I will drop the link, but what you want to talk about, baby? But like I said earlier, the ocean story really broke my heart. To go from marrying the love of your life and to losing your life within an hour of time really, really opened my eyes to a lot of things. And it really made me take a look at this whole situation and really take a step back and really take a step back. Hold on one second, you all. Okay, I got a message. I'm sorry. Really made me take a step back and realize the bigger picture in all of this. And I don't want to be responsible for pushing somebody over the edge. And I'm not saying that anybody here was responsible for Ocean losing his life. But I know that a lot of the drama, a lot of the name calling, and a lot of the things that he went through on this platform um, didn't make it any better. Um, so I just want us to be mindful. Hello, NY Styles. I just want us to be mindful of how we treat people from here on out, because what we do and say to people can have an effect not only on their mental health, but their physical health. And I always say, if your mind is not right, nothing else is going to be right, because your mental state can have an effect on your physical state. I really feel bad that his last few months of life, that he had to go through so much on these YouTube streets, all for just trying to make content, trying to make a living. He was called all type of names, all because he was making content that people didn't like. We just have to do a better job at being better people. It just breaks my heart, the mental anguish that he had to go through the last few months of his life. And when he finally had a good day, when his burden seemed a little easier, a little lighter, just for that one day, an hour later, he was gone. Whew. I pray for his wife, his children, his family, his friends. That could be any of us, y'all. That could be any of us. Not just Ocean. That could have been any one of us. We all like to think that we are healthy because we are not, quote unquote, diagnosed with anything. But your physical health can change. And that could have been any one of us. Let's show his family some respect. Don't shame the deceased. If you can't do anything else, if you can't say anything nice, just learn to be quiet. He still have people out here who love for him, who loves him, who care for him. Stop putting more stuff on your plate that you will have to answer for. Because each day we're going to make mistakes because we are human. And we're going to have to pay for those things. Stop doing unnecessary stuff. Danny Girl said, learning about the circulatory system in class. Child, I don't even know how to even pronounce that word. Infraction and the blood clots traveling in real in stress is a factor. Protect your peace. Is that mitochondrial? I think that's what that is. But yes, stress does definitely play a factor. I know when I'm stressed out, um, it has a effect on my physical health. That's why I don't allow myself to get mad or worked up over stupid stuff because I know it has an effect on my physical health. And I can get worked up and come out here and do all that cussing and fussing, but at the end of the day, that individual is going to sleep well, and I'm going to be over here suffering physically. It's gonna make my pain worse, and that person gonna sleep like a baby. It's not worth it. It is not worth it. Danny Girl said, God provided him joy in the midst of it all. The eternal peace in his arms. Absolutely. Miss Tracy said, rest in heaven, Ocean. Miss Allie said, saddens me that because people did like his commentary, they caused him unnecessary grief by calling CPS. His words were his words. If don't like it, don't watch. Absolutely. Absolutely. Miss Mel said, I cried for 2 days because it's so sad. Ocean was family in this sector. It's not going to be the same without him. I pray for his wife and especially his daughter. Exactly. And it really hit home for me because even though Ocean was on here before me, but it's like we all kind of came on around the same time, whether it was for or quote unquote against trees. I was never against trees, but that they like to put you in boxes, but um we all kind of came on in this sector around the same time. So whether we talk now or we don't talk now or whatever, you still have some type of connection with these people because we we were all, together. And I would hate for anything to happen to any one of these humans because we all kind of started this thing out together. And whether I speak to these people now or I don't wish anything bad to happen to anybody. And it really hurts. It really does. Danny Girl said, what gets me is the drive to intentionally hurt one another. Yes. Yes, that's what get me too, sis. The way people go out of their way to just gut punch each other. To just like we gonna go as low as we can possibly go to make sure you feel that shit in the morning. You know, and I understand, you know, a fight is a fight and there's no rules in fighting, and you know that's the goal, is to hurt one another. I get all of that, but when does it end? When does it end? When do we say enough is enough? We have called each other all the bitches we can call each other. We have said all we can say. Enough is enough, because at the end of the day, tomorrow is not promised. And would these be the last things that people remember us by, is we knew how to cuss a bitch out on YouTube. I wouldn't want that to be the last thing people remembered me by, is I knew how to cut a bitch out on YouTube. When I'm gone, I want people to remember me that I made a difference in this world. That was the person that I can call on when I was at my lowest point, or I learned a lot from that person. That person was always there to help. That was a good person. I don't want to be known from her. She sure can cuss. She sure can cut turn, cuss a bitch out. None of that matters to me, because like I said, I'm not perfect and I can be nasty. My aunt is in his comments right now. I can cuss and cuss out with the best of them, but what does that prove? What does that prove? Mel says, sis, I remember you telling Ocean. Now, Ocean, you are welcome to come over here, but I bet not catch no video of me with googly eyes. Yeah, so one day it was my birthday last year, and I was sitting on my bed, and I got a notification, and all I saw, it was Ocean something. And baby, when tell you I had a cramp so bad in my stomach, I'm like, I know good and well he didn't make no damn video of me. So I'm like scared to even push on whatever it was. So I'm bracing myself like, this motherfucker done made a video of me. So I clicked on it and he shared my birthday picture. So under the picture, I'm like, woo, child. Like, I was scared to click on this. I thought you made a video on me. I'm like, Ocean, don't play with me. Don't make no videos of me. So he like, I'm not going to do it, sis. And then he put a whole bunch of laughing emojis behind it. I'm like, Ocean, don't play with me. Don't make no videos of me. So he like, I'm not. So then one day he came in my chat. I'm like, Ocean, don't make no videos of no damn googly eyes and no big lips to me, now, child. So I always, every time I saw him, I remind him, Ocean, we cool, right? Don't make no videos about me. But he, I had respect for Ocean, and Ocean had respect for me. Jersey Girl says, I've been saying peace and blessings since 2009, hitting the internet. To know me is to love me. That got me my attention when I saw him say peace and blessings. Miss Michelle said, it's up to oneself to change, especially if the other person doesn't change. Absolutely. Miss Rita said, we need to learn how to accept people for who they are. We can't change anyone or infringe on their life. The only person we can change is ourselves, bottom line. Absolutely. Miss Allie says, Mika, I'm not about it was not about you being against trees. You offering an opinion what we saw. No matter the side of line you feel? Why can't we have thoughts on what we see with people having consequences for it? I understand, Miss Allie. I definitely understand. I said, "Ooh, that was sweet of Ocean." Yes, and the last time he came in my chat, Miss Allie, he said, "I come in peace." And I said, hold on now. What you mean you come in peace? That's the only way you always came. Don't come in here with no mess now. And because I think because so many people were against him at that point, he didn't know who was really against him and who wasn't. So I'm like, but you always came in peace and we ain't got no beef. So you ain't got to announce all of that in here. We good. But but I think he didn't know where I stood. But I'm not the type of person that, and I think you all know that by now, I'm not the type of person that moves with the wind. Just because somebody else don't like somebody doesn't mean I'm going to jump on that ship and I'm going to sell off with everybody else. I don't do what the crowd does. I don't care how everybody else is moving. I'm going to march to the beat of my own drum always. And I don't care how you feel or what you feel about it. I'm always going to be true to me. So if the person has never done anything to me, I'm not going to jump on the ship with everybody else because you're trying to sink that person. No, that's not how I am, and I'm not going to be that way. I'm not going to do that. I've always stood on my own, always stood alone, and I have no problem with standing alone. If that means going against everybody else, then so be it. I'm gonna do what I want to do, and that's the way I've always been. Ellen says he was always peaceful in every chat I saw. Yes, and he always came in and hey, soul sister, salute, caring and sharing, and he just came in, he spoke, he shared your content, and he just wanted you to know that he was coming in and support you, and he moved about his business. And when I saw that he was on and I was able to catch him, I returned the favor, and it was just like that. And the way it should be, I support people the way they support me. You come in my chat, I come in your chat. You support me, I support you. I'm an equal person. Fair, no exchange, no robbery. What you get from me is what you give to me. I've learned my lesson about giving more than I receive. So I'm always going to be equal. I don't do one-sided relationships. So when you see me doing something different than what I'm used to doing, is because that person has changed. I give what I get back. So that's how I am. Smell says, right, he didn't know who to trust. We always showed him love over here. We stand alone. Absolutely. I show everybody who comes in my chat the same respect and love, no matter which side you from, who you from. You respect me, I respect you. I don't treat anybody any differently. I respect everybody who come in my chat as long as you respect me in my chat. You remember that, Miss Maisha? Yes. Hello, Jam Jam. Miss Shannon says, exactly right, Mika. People get upset for nothing. Whether you stop in others' chat speaking, hit the like and leave, the convo doesn't have to be talking mess about someone. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I just feel like, support people and the way that they support you. Show up for people the way that they show up for you. And, we all in this together. And there's no way that we should not be encouraging, uplifting, and supporting one another, because at the end of the day, we all on the same boat. Whether we are talking about the same thing or quote unquote against the same thing, we are all on the same ship. It doesn't have to be war because we are not on, seeing eye to eye about things. We are all in this together. So we should be uplifting and building one another up. We already got so much stuff and so many people that are against us. Why do we continue to be our own worst enemies? Why do we continue um tear each other down instead of uplifting one another? Why can't we support one another like every other race does? Why we always just have to continue to perpetuate that stereotype that we've been having for so long out there about us? Why do we have to continue this? Why can't we change the game? Why does it have to be the same thing generation after generation after generation? Let's change this shit up. Let's change the way that we operate. Let's build one another. We can do so much more together than we can apart. If your channel is very successful and this person's channel is very successful, then can you imagine if those two channels collaborate, the masses you can reach, the messages you can get out there, to the amount of people you can get it out there to, if we all came together as one? It is not hard. We already got so many odds stacked up against us, and then here we come against one another too. When are we going to stop? You can't blame and point fingers at everybody else when you're doing the same shit to one another. How can you expect other people to treat us better than we treat ourselves? You show people, you teach people how to treat you. Hello, Miss Lavora. Welcome in. Hello, Miss Veronica said, in my opinion, Ocean was a nice person. I would go watch his live at night, but I never said anything because if someone didn't like and follow that person, they will block you. We need Jesus on YouTube. Yes, yes, yes. Miss Ali said, I have to say this. The night Ocean passed, it bothered me. I always gave him a like, and if it moved me, I gave a comment. His commentary was funny. It was real. His content will be missed. Rest well, Ocean. Absolutely. Miss Ellie says, I was so sad. I really lost sleep that night. I did too. And it's been bothering me every since. Yes, Miss, yes, Lyra. We all believe it. Yes, yes. We definitely need to do more uplifting one another. Miss Veronica said, honey, say it louder because they don't hear you. But I'm going to end it on that note. Hopefully, we all have learned something from this tragic event. May God cover his family, his wife, his children. May his soul rest in eternal peace. And may his legacy live on in these YouTube streets. We know that he will never be forgotten and on here on YouTube. And he has brought us plenty of laughter. I know when I didn't want to watch certain content creators or didn't want to watch certain things, we'll go straight over to Ocean. Ocean was go have it all. When you wanted the tea, baby, and you didn't want to go watch your whole live to find it, you go straight to Ocean. He gonna have the meat of what the doggone live was about, and you ain't have to look any further. He was gonna give you exactly what you came to look for. But Ocean, you will be forever missed in these YouTube streets, and we thank you for what you given us out here. And may your spirit live on. Cousins, you know I love you all from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for engaging with me. Thank you all for your words of wisdom. Um, and like I said, this is a safe space. Um, for you all. Don't ever feel like you have to hide in the bushes on you gonna learn today. Don't ever feel like you can't express yourself, whether it's against what I have to say, because I want to hear what you have to say, because maybe, just maybe, I didn't think about it that way, and you teaching me something that day, and I love to learn. So don't ever feel like you have to hide on you gonna learn today. No, this is where you come and you express yourself. You take your doggone your mask off and you be who you are at all times. Yes, rest in peace, Ocean. Salute. Hello, Yaya. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Legend of Oz. Thank you, Justice React. Thank you, Tracy Anderson. I don't think I had any other content creators in here. Most importantly, I thank all my supporters for being in here tonight. I love you all from the bottom of my heart. I pray you all have a peaceful night. Good night.